It
I'm not going
matches
to be
my
able to hear
vibe.
me. I just want to say this one thing.
Okay.
What's your favorite scary movie? Okay.
Hey, babes, and welcome to Gore&Gossip. I'm Jordan. And I'm Nicole, and this is your weekly deep dive into all things terrifying, true crime cases, cold-blooded killers, and the occasional creepy conspiracy. And since it's spooky season, we're turning up the chills with haunted legends, cursed objects, and the kind of stories that will make you second-guess the shadows in your hallway. From killers to cryptids, from bloodstains to ghost chains, if it makes your skin crawl, we're talking about it. So lock the doors, light a candle, and let's get into it. Guys! Halloween week is so fun! I
Yeah.
love it!
I'm having fun with these.
I'm so excited. And today we're deep diving into the world of horror movies. I know you're not quite a fan, but you like the ones that I'm talking about, I think.
I like horror movies.
Okay.
I like slashers.
Slashers specifically, not the
So like
horror.
paranormal movies are the ones that I judge really hard, but slashers I tend to give a little bit of a break to because they're just fun. I always think that they're just fun. Although I don't necessarily love Texas Chainsaw, I will say that.
That's okay. I don't either. I think it's
it.
unnecessary.
Yeah.
I think the blood and gore is not necessary.
Yeah. But slasher films are fun. I think they're fun. So
cool. Because today we're talking about 3 creepy horror icons who are based on real life events or kind of diving into what the filmmaker was wanting from them.
Yeah. I love these.
Yeah. So before we begin, Nicole, what's your favorite scary movie?
It's definitely Scream. It has to be. I mean, Scream.
Hello.
I mean, it's definitely. It's just exactly. It's so classic. It's just one of. Like, I personally do not think that there's a better slasher film than the original Scream, in my opinion. Like, I just don't.
I just like love how you try and figure out who it is and then they throw you for a loop.
Yeah.
Like can remember watching the original and not knowing it was them.
Yeah.
Like
but then when it was them, it like made so much sense. And you're like, how did I miss that?
Like, how did I miss all of those telltale signs that it was them?
Yeah. And I'm sure there's people out there like, how did you not know it was them? Listen, I just like to enjoy things, okay?
Let me enjoy things.
Yeah.
Stop judging
me. And heart, like, and just let me figure it out, okay?
Let me enjoy things, please.
Yeah.
So, we're talking about Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, and of course, Scream.
Whoop, whoop.
So I'm going to be reintroducing you to Ghostface, Freddy Krueger, and Michael Myers, where they came from in real life. Horror meeting reality.
Ooh.
So let's start with the one who kills you where you should be safest, in your sleep. Freddy Krueger, the razor-gloved killer of A Nightmare on Elm Street, was born in 1984 from the imagination of director Wes Craven, who is also the director of Scream, the original one.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. I freaking love Wes. He's incredible.
Yeah.
I digress. The roots of Freddy stretch far beyond fiction. Craven was inspired by a real newspaper article and a series of mysterious, unexplained deaths that terrified doctors in the late 1970s. So, according to the LA Times, they published a story about a group of Cambodian refugee families who had survived the Khmer Rouge genocide. I totally messed that up. And fled to the United States to start new lives. But soon after arriving, young men in those families began dying suddenly in their sleep. They were perfectly healthy, they did no drugs, and they had no illnesses. But they had reported horrible nightmares, and then they die during the night.
Ooh.
How weird is that? You just have horrifying nightmares, and then you just die in your sleep.
Yeah, that's good. Could be the scare is so bad that like it's giving you a heart attack or something, causing people to die essentially.
Seriously,
that would make sense to me.
I mean, yeah, it could be that. I mean, you've heard of sudden infant death syndrome. It's kind
Yeah.
of like that. This phenomenon came to be known as sudden unexpected nocturnal death syndrome, or
Wow.
SUNS. Um, it primarily affected Southeast Asian men, particularly refugees that were traumatized by war and displacement.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And one story in particular haunted Craven. A young man, probably 19 or 20, told his parents that he was terrified to fall asleep. He said, "There's something chasing me in my dreams." He stayed awake for days, using coffee, hiding
Oh,
sleeping pills, and finally, exhausted, he fell asleep. And that night, his parents heard screams from his room. By the time they reached him, he was dead. No heart defect, no stroke, no explanation. It's kind of like
oh.
what the characters do in
Yeah.
A Nightmare on Elm Street, which is so terrifying.
Yeah, that is.
Craven later told hold on. Craven later told Cinefantiste
Tan-
magazine.
Cinefantastic, I
What
think.
Nicole said. That story hit me like a bolt of lightning. It was the perfect metaphor. A person afraid to sleep because something in his dreams would kill him. And that's where Freddy was born. Now, Freddy's look, the fedora, striped sweater, the burned skin, that came from Craven's childhood.
Oh,
Craven remembered one night as a boy in Cleveland hearing a noise outside his window. And when he looked out, an old man in a fedora was standing on the sidewalk, staring up at him.
oh my God.
And the man stepped forward and slowly still was staring. So Craven ducked out of view, and when he looked again, the man was still there, smiling at him.
Oh my God. Ew.
And that image never left him. I mean, for
I
me, it wouldn't leave me either.
No, I mean, and he took that and ran with it, and like good for him turning that into like, what it is now, but like that's scary as fuck.
I think I would be too like traumatized to
Yeah.
bring it to life. I mean, but that's just me.
Yeah,
De-
no, me too.
Decades later, that man became the face of Freddy Krueger. Freddy isn't just a supernatural horror. He's the mix of true mystery deaths and a childhood nightmare, a collision between real death in dreams and a kid's memory of pure fear. And even Freddy's name was personal. Craven said he based it on a bully from his school days, a kid named Fred Krueger, who tormented
Oh
him.
my God. So he literally pulled from like such real life trauma and like not only his own, but other people's and was like, take this and here you go. Like, that's crazy.
Oh, he's a mastermind,
Yeah.
baby. Freddy became the ultimate embodiment of guilt, vengeance, and trauma. He punishes teenagers for the sins of their parents, and just like the subconscious punishes us for our hidden fears. So the next time that you hear Freddy's laugh echo through your TV, remember his victims were real people once, people who really did die in their sleep.
That is really sad.
Very sad. I mean, I can't imagine that. I mean, being so freaked out by your dreams that like you just can't sleep, so you avoid it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously something was there that like caused that to happen. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it is like sudden like basically sudden death like syndrome
Mm-hmm.
is just unexplained. It means that there's something like your body is basically hiding it. Like so something happened for you to pass, but like your body is just hiding it and they can't figure it out.
Right.
So obviously something was happening that caused it, but the unexplained option, or the spooky option is usually I guess the next one to go to.
Right. Exactly. No real explanation here. No
Yeah.
scientific
Yeah,
explanation.
it's hard. It's a really hard, yeah.
Yeah. Our second icon was born 6 years earlier in 1978. He doesn't speak, he doesn't even run, and he doesn't die. He's known only as the Shape. Michael Myers, the silent killer of Halloween.
This traumatized me as a child. Like, I've already talked
Really?
about how Scream traumatized me. Yeah, Michael Myers traumatized me as a child.
I don't even think I was allowed to watch.
This was another one of those incidents where, like, I didn't have control over, like, what was being watched. This was not my brother this time. This was a friend. So I had a friend who used to watch, like, really scary stuff and, like, was perfectly fine with it. And they had it on, and she basically would fall asleep while scary stuff was on. And then I would be sitting there scared out of my mind. And this was one of those instances.
That is terrifying. Just
Yeah.
like wide awake because you can't
Yeah.
turn off the TV.
Yeah. And yeah, terrified. So traumatized me.
Nicole, I'm
It's
sorry.
okay.
I'm gonna
That's all right.
re-traumatize you.
Yeah, I know. It's okay.
Michael is different than Freddy, though. Less supernatural, more human, which is exactly why I find him so freaking terrifying.
Less supernatural until we get to like the last like two, and then
Oh,
it's
that
like,
doesn't
come
count.
on. Yeah, I know. I know. Those are
Neither does
now
H2.
he's like a supernatural being. Like, come on.
No, he started out just as a mindless killer. That's what he was supposed
Yeah.
to be, and
Yeah,
then
exactly.
they lost the plot completely, in my
Oh yeah.
opinion.
No, I
My
agree.
opinion.
It's my opinion.
My opinion. Okay. John Carpenter, the director of the movie, wanted to strip evil of all humanity, but the spark came from a real experience that haunted him. In the early 1970s, while studying psychology in Kentucky, Carpenter visited a mental institution. Among the patients, he met a boy, maybe 12 or 13, who just stared at him. And Carpenter described the boy's face as blank, pale, emotionless. The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
Lovely.
That encounter inspired the opening scene of Halloween. A young Michael Myers standing outside his home, his face void of emotion after stabbing his sister to death. Carpenter once said, I wanted to make a film about pure evil, not revenge, not lust, not jealousy, just evil itself. Something that cannot be reasoned with.
Well, you did it, sir. You did
Truly, you did it. And then the other directors lost the plot.
Yeah.
To him, Michael wasn't a man. He was a force. And that's why in the credits, he's not called Michael Myers. He's called the Shape.
Okay.
That idea of evil as a shape, not a person.
Right.
And that's what made Halloween feel so real. You could imagine him in any neighborhood, just
Right.
stalking around. The quiet streets, kids trick-or-treating, made the violence more shocking. And Carpenter's co-writer, Deborah Hill, drew on her own memories of babysitting in suburban Haddonfield, New Jersey.
Okay.
Even Michael's mask has a bizarre true story. The crew needed something quick and cheap, and they found a $2 William Shatner Star Trek mask, painted it white, and
Whoa.
reshaped the eye holes.
Whoa. So you're telling me this is a Star Trek mask?
This is
And it
William
was-
Shatner's face.
So my fears are a Star Trek mask. That's great.
$2 worth, by the way.
Yeah. Just painted white and reshaped the eye holes. I love that.
And when Carpenter saw it under dim lighting, he said, that's it. A blank human face that somehow looked inhuman. And there's more. Carpenter was inspired by Westworld, a 1973 sci-fi film about a robot gunslinger who keeps coming back from the dead. That mechanical, relentless quality became Michael's walk. Steady, unstoppable.
Oh, yeah.
Because he doesn't chase, he approaches.
That's true. Have you ever seen the show Westworld?
I have.
Yeah.
I do
I've
like
never
it.
watched the whole thing, but yeah, that's really...
It's a really good one.
Okay. I could see that.
Yeah. Also, he does that in Fortnite too. Just subtle plug. He does that in Fortnite. He chases you in Fortnite.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He approaches.
Sorry.
In Fortnite, he approaches.
He approaches you.
But he really does. It's creepy as hell.
It is creepy. I avoid that.
It's creepy that they got that down, like, in a game.
It is terrifying. In every town, there's that one dark house, that one silent figure.
Yeah.
Michael Myers became the personification of that instinctive fear, the idea that evil doesn't need a motive. It just exists. Terrifying.
Creepy.
I hate that.
Yeah.
That's what gives me nightmares. Like the strangers, at the end. You
I
were
cannot
home.
even talk about The Strangers because I just can't. I can't
I'm
talk about The
sorry.
Strangers.
Okay, moving on. We're not going to talk about
That
it.
is like that is literally like fear come to life. I can't. It's too
I'm
much.
sorry. Okay,
No,
we'll
it's
move
okay.
on.
It's okay. It's spooky season, guys. We got to talk about this stuff. But that's like one fear I've like refused to face is like I hate The Strangers so much.
That's
I
okay.
watched it one time on the phone with a boy.
Oh, dang.
Sorry. It was way, way before I knew him, like years before I knew
I
him.
figured.
And I was like, I'm never watching this movie ever again. And I never watched it ever again.
It's a pretty terrifying movie. Same
Yeah.
premise. Evil
Yep.
just exists. It
Yeah,
no motive.
literally. Yeah. And I've never seen, I know they came out with the second one. I think Deg might have watched it, but I will never watch it. And they came out with other movies like it that in my opinion, looks so stupid compared to that. I know that there's another one that came out that's kind of like it, but it just feels like I don't know, forced, I guess you could say. Like it doesn't feel like The Strangers works because it's literally just so terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, like evil just existing and like just there. But like the other one, I can't remember the name of it, but like it just doesn't make sense.
I agree. I agree
Yeah.
with you. The remakes suck. There's one
Yeah.
that like is supposed to take place after she survives when it's like
Yeah.
they don't survive. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It
I
doesn't make sense.
digress. I digress.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Now for the most self-aware killer of them all, Ghostface. Unlike Michael or Freddy, Ghostface isn't one person. He's a mask, an identity that anyone can wear. And that idea came from a very real horror story.
Which I hate.
Me too.
I hate that, but it happens.
In late August of 1990, Gainesville, Florida, the University of Florida campus is coming to life again after summer break. Thousands of students are moving into apartments, dorms, little off campus houses. And the start of a new semester, new beginnings. And then, in just 72 hours, everything changes. Between August 24th and 27th, 5 college students are brutally murdered, and each attack happens at night, and each scene is more disturbing than the last. The first victims are Sonia Larson, 18, and Christina Powell, 17, two
Oh,
freshman
God.
roommates. They had just moved in together. That night, an intruder broke in their back door. The lock had been jimmied open with a screwdriver, and he stabbed them repeatedly with a hunting knife. And even worse, the killer posed the bodies. Christina's arms were folded in a way that looked almost peaceful, and Sonia was mutilated and left on her bed. The crime scene was staged deliberately to shock whoever found it. But Gainesville had no idea what was coming next.
Can I tell you, I never realized that that's what this was based off of. I know this story. I never knew that. Wow, I never put two. I never put the two and two together. I never realized that.
Yeah, it's like mildly based just on how horrific like the killings are.
Yeah, yeah. I never realized that connection though. But I know this story. It's horrific.
Yeah. And the next night, the killer struck again. Krista Hote, 18, a student and part time clerk at the sheriff's office, didn't show up for work. When police went to her apartment, they found the door locked, so they looked through the window. And what they saw would haunt investigators forever. Christina had been decapitated. Her body was propped sitting upright on her bed, her head placed on a nearby bookshelf, staring towards the door.
Literally disgusting.
I cannot.
Disgusting and disgraceful.
Like, I feel sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
How can you be so evil?
Yeah.
How can you
Yeah.
be so evil? By now, Gainesville was in full blown panic. Students were sleeping in groups. Some left town entirely. Local stores sold out of deadbolts, baseball bats, and pepper spray overnight. Police formed a task force of more than 600 officers, but the killer wasn't finished. On August 27th, he struck for the last time, attacking roommates Tracy Powells and Manny Tabata, both 23. Manny tried to fight back. He was an athlete, a big guy,
but the killer overpowered him, stabbing him multiple times. Then he attacked Tracy. When detectives arrived, they recognized the same signature mutilations, the same knife, and the same taunting arrangement of the bodies. 5 students, 4 women, 1 man. 5 lives in just 3 days, and not a single witness.
Wouldn't you have you arrived, I'm sorry, you put together a task force of 600 officers. Wouldn't you have, I don't know, 100 of them, maybe, patrolling the
You would hope?
campus? Obviously, he's done 2 days in a row. You think he's not going to go for another one?
I don't understand how they weren't patrolling or checking. I mean, but that's the most horrifying thing. The killer left almost no forensic evidence, no fingerprints, no footprints, no DNA that could be matched with the technology of the 1990s.
Right.
But a few clues pointed towards someone who had experience hiding and surviving in the woods. Police found small campsites just outside Gainesville, places where someone had been sleeping rough, eating canned food, and watching the news on a portable radio. Well, listening to the news.
Yeah.
My bad. One of those camps had a bloody towel. Another had duct tape, gloves, and tools matching the break-ins. And then a breakthrough that came from an entirely different case. Weeks later in Ocala, Florida. Is that how you say it? Ocala?
I think.
Yeah, Ocala, Florida. Police had arrested a drifter named Danny Rolling after a failed armed robbery. When they searched his campsite, they found audio diaries, knives, and tape, recordings describing a monster inside him that wanted to kill.
Oh my God.
Ballistics and DNA would later link him to the Gainesville murders. Danny Harold Rolling was born in Shreveport, Louisiana in 1954. His father, a police officer, was physically and emotionally abusive, telling young Danny he was worthless, beating him for the smallest things. And as a teenager, Rolling developed a violent temper and obsession with power and control. By his 20s, he was in and out of jail for burglary and assault. And in 1989, after being fired from a job at a restaurant, he murdered a family of 3 in Shreveport.
Oh my God.
His first known killing. After that, he fled to Florida, living in the woods outside Gainesville. He broke into homes, stalked women, and recorded himself singing eerie songs on cassette tapes, talking about his dark side. And he called that side of himself Gemini.
When was he born?
1954. So around 40 years old. Probably.
Was he a Gemini is what I meant. I wanted to ask myself. I'm going to look it up while you keep talking.
Well, I'm a Gemini, so please don't be a Gemini. When investigators matched DNA from the Gainesville crime scenes to Rolling, he was already in jail for robbery. And in 1991, he confessed to all 5 murders, plus the 3 in Shreveport. During questioning, he showed no remorse. He had said he'd been possessed by an evil spirit, and that the killings helped him become one with the darkness. Is he a Gemini?
Yeah. He's a Gemini. He's a May Gemini, if that...
I'm a May Gemini.
Yeah.
We have the same birthday, don't we? No.
May 26th.
Okay. A day after mine. So
Okay.
I'm in the
day's
clear.
Good. Yeah, sorry anybody that was born on the 26th.
Yeah, sorry, guys. SOL. At trial in 1994, the prosecution played his recorded audio diaries for the jury. Chilling tapes where Rolling described how he stalked the evil inside of him and unleashed it. He was convicted of 5 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced to death. Danny Rolling was executed by lethal injection on October 25th, 2006 at the Florida State Prison. His last words, "I love my family, and by God's grace, I'm going home."
Oh, yeah.
No, you're going straight to hell, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
You're going straight to hell. And when Rowling sat in prison awaiting trial, the story of the Gainesville murders spread nationwide. And one person who saw it on the news was Kevin Williamson, a young screenwriter struggling in Los Angeles. He watched a ton of Dateline NBC specials about the case, and that night, while alone in his apartment, he realized something chilling. What if the killer called his victims before he struck? What if he
Oh.
used their love of horror movies against them? That idea became Scream, a killer in a black cloak and a white mask, stalking teenagers, asking them questions about scary movies, and punishing them for not knowing the rules. Ghostface wasn't Danny Rowling exactly, but the DNA of the Gainesville Ripper is all over that film. The brutality, the small college town setting, the sense that anyone could be behind the mask. Even Rowling's own personality, charming one minute, unhinged the next, mirrors how the Ghostface killers hide in plain sight until the big reveal. And after Scream's release in 1996, audiences were shocked by how real it felt. Not because of the gore, but because of how close it was to something that had exactly happened. And the irony, Danny Rowling, the man who inspired Ghostface, became obsessed with art and music while on death row. He was recording songs and wrote poems that later sold as true crime memorabilia.
Gross.
Disgusting. And to this day, people still debate whether the Scream franchise glamorized his crimes or warned us about how horror and real life violence feed off each other.
That's fair. That's a fair argument, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. But before there was a phone call that began with, "Do you like scary movies?" there was a college town that learned the hard way what real horror looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So, which true tale scared you more? Nicole?
I'm thinking. Sorry, that was a long pause.
Hmm.
Probably the Freddy Krueger one because of how it was put together. Like literally basing it off of like an unexplained trauma that's happening to people that unexplained death that's happened to people who have been purely traumatized, and then the character itself being based off of something really scary, like a person just like standing there staring up smiling and like dressed in what like the character is dressed in, and then also being based off of a real life bully. I feel like that one is like truly the scariest in my opinion. Like I know what Scream is based off of, like a literal like basically serial killer, but I don't know, the way that Freddy Krueger is just put together scares me.
I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
I think Scream is like the perfect like pointing back at the audience, being like,
Yeah.
you're obsessed with these horror movies.
I agree.
Like it's creating like a culture of violence and that kind of thing. Like it
Yeah.
very much like spoke to the culture of it all because everyone's obsessed with like slasher films, it seems.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so like that's what I find really, I don't
I do
know.
agree, and I think that's part of why I like the Scream like films the most is that they do really do like not only they don't take themselves seriously is
Mhm.
like the whole thing. So like they point back like you said, but they also don't take themselves seriously. So like they know what they are. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I mean, like, literally every line that the ghost face killer, like, speaks is
Yeah.
usually referring to a movie. I'm gonna do my research and actually see if the killer has, like, a movie line that they say. I kinda wanna do that. Like,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
that pulls from a movie, like a horror movie, because I'm pretty sure that well, that would be wrong then, because the friends in the original Scream are talking about the rules. And
Yeah.
so, mm,
Yeah.
just thinking about it. But also, the mask for Ghostface was based on the infamous painting from Edvard Munch, the Scream painting of the guy doing this. It was a
Yeah.
$5 mask at Fun World as well,
That's so funny.
which I think is really funny.
Yeah, I do.
But whether it is a Ghostface killer that terrifies you, that is based on a man who tormented Florida, the mystical man who terrorizes you while you sleep based on a childhood bully, or a blank-faced man that goes after babysitters who cannot be killed. Let us know which one terrifies you more. And happy Halloween, everyone. I hope you stay safe.
Happy Halloween.
Have so much fun. Check your candy.
Yeah. Check your candy.
Yes. And whether it's crime, conspiracy, or straight up spooky, we're going to keep talking about it. Like, follow, comment, and stay tuned for new episodes each week because it will only keep getting dark and spooky from here. So stay nosy and stay spooky, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Don't forget to send us your scary stories at goreandgossippod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Said it correct this time. Let's go.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.